Thank you for joining me. My name is Adriana Rodriguez, and I am a dietetic intern. In this presentation, we will focus on how to read and interpret food labels to make informed nutrition choices. We will discuss how to identify whole grain foods, evaluate fiber content using percent daily value, and understand key information on the nutrition facts label. Why read food labels? Nutrition labels help us identify whole grain foods, compare fiber content, and support informed choices. A little fun fact is that if you are in a Blue Zone approved organization and your organization has vending machines and they follow Blue Zone's guidelines, the recommendation on the cereal grains products on your vending machine should contain at least 3 grams of fiber per package. So, with this fun fact, I'll be able to tell you how to read these labels to make sure that you're getting your 3 grams of fiber per package. Whole grain stamps. So, the Whole Grain Council added stamps that can help identify products containing whole grains, but they are optional. So, you can always check the ingredient list and the nutrition labels to ensure that you're getting a whole grain and how much on the amount. If your product has the stamp, it will tell you exactly the amount of grams that you're getting. So it could be an 100% of a whole grain product, a 50% of a whole grain, or a basic stamp, which that one contains whole grains, but mostly you're gonna have refined grains. And they all should tell you the amount. When you want to identify a whole grain by reading ingredients, we want to ensure that the first two ingredient names should say something like whole wheat, brown rice, whole oats, whole barley, whole cornmeal. I added two examples here. So I have a bread that says crafted multigrain on your left side. And then if you see the ingredient list, the first ingredient says unbleached enriched flour, meaning that this product is not a whole grain product. If we compare it to the other product on your right, we'll see that it says 100% whole wheat bread. And the first ingredient mentions whole wheat flour, meaning that this product it is a whole grain product. So a tip here is that the color of the bread, terms like multigrain, wheat bread can be misleading. So just make sure that you read the first or second ingredient to ensure that you're getting your whole grains. Okay, so we're gonna start with nutrition facts. I am gonna be mentioning Mahatma brown rice throughout this video as our example. So for step one, we're gonna see serving sizes. We want to check the serving size because this is all the nutrition information is going to be based by this amount. So we can lower the amount, use the amount as it is, or get more of the amount depending on how much you're consuming. For the Manhattan brown rice, we see it's a serving size of 1/4 of a cup or 45 grams. And this is when it's dry. And then by container, you can get 20 servings. So the dry versus cooked part, it could be tricky, but because you might not know when to measure your amount of rice, or if you use it like before cooking or after cooking. But the only difference that cooking makes is that you're gonna be adding water, so you're not adding fiber. So you're just adding water, which makes it change weight and volume. So you are good to go if you read your nutrition labels when it's dry ingredients. For the step two, calories and macronutrients. Your macronutrients are going to be your fat, carbohydrates, and proteins. So here we want to make sure to read the amounts because you are the one that will need to understand if it's what's the overall nutrition content of this product. Should I eat it? Should I not eat it? And when you see total carbohydrate, you can also see that underneath you'll have different sections. One of the sections we want to pay attention here will be your dietary fiber. So on step 3, you want to be checking that percent daily value. Your brown rice here, it has a 7% daily value. And we know that a low fiber product, you'll see a 5% or less on that daily value per serving. And if it's a high fiber product, you'll see a 20% or more of the daily value per serving. So in this case, we see a 7%, which means we have a good source of dietary fiber in this product. As for other nutrients, we see iron and potassium in this brown rice. So it's going to be listed on the labels. This is some natural minerals that it's in brown rice. And we just want to make sure that we know what it's for. So iron is going to be supporting our oxygen transport in our blood, and potassium is going to help regulate our fluid balance, muscle function, and blood pressure. So some green products may also fortify and enrich additional nutrients to meet our nutrition needs throughout the day. So this is a brown rice with fortified iron and potassium, which is going to be helping us, and it's less processed and it's more natural minerals than if you want to compare it to a white rice. So how to improve our choices? So this is going to be personal. We all can see this week I bought a white rice. What if next time I try a brown rice instead and see how I like it? So you can be comparing that with rice, with bread, with pastas, and choose your whole grain option for the day. And then if you don't want to make any changes, you can make additions. So we see our 7% daily value, and we know if we maybe add a legume or not, or a vegetable or something else with our meals, we are going to be increasing that total fiber in our meal. To summarize, we want to ensure to be checking serving sizes, look for whole grain ingredients, use percent daily value to compare fiber products, and choose a variety of nutrient rich foods, just because my variety matters. And thank you for listening. This concludes our presentation on whole grains, fiber, and reading food labels.